Greetings and welcome to Wealth Management RPA Fast Chat. My name is Fred Barstein, contributing editor for Wealth Management's RPA Edge Omnichannel and CEO at TROW, TPSU, and 401k TV. Today, we are talking with Dave Goldman, Chief Business Officer at Pontera. Welcome, Dave.
Hey, Fred, great to be here.
Thank you. So, Dave, the convergence of wealth and retirement is happening at what feels like an accelerating rate, affecting RPAs who want to provide greater advice to participants in the DC plans and wealth advisors whose wealth clients have significant assets in their DC account. Let's focus today on the impact for wealth advisors. So they seem to need to help wealth management advisors need to help clients manage their DC accounts to provide holistic financial planning. How do they do that today?
Yeah, Fred, it's a great point. I mean, DC plans have become extraordinarily popular, and they've been increasing in popularity over the last decade. At this point, 35% of Americans rely on a 401k style plan. But as you mentioned, management from their financial advisor has not been the easiest. So there's two common approaches that advisors take today in helping provide this holistic service. The first way, and this is common and it's been happening for at least a decade, is that advisors will make a recommendation for their client, right? They'll ask for a statement, they'll do their own research, and they'll basically give their clients homework in how they should rebalance their 401ks. This is, as you can imagine, quite a cumbersome process for the advisor, and of course, frustrating for the clients that they're getting homework from the person that they just hired to help with these accounts. It's also very difficult for an advisor to be proactive in this manner when they're only doing this probably once a year because of the time and the cumbersome nature of this type of advice. Now, the other path that advisors have taken, much more cumbersome for the advisor, but a much better service for their clients, is advisors are taking custody of these assets, and they're doing that by collecting their clients' usernames and passwords for their 401k providers, and they're logging in and they're trading them. Now, for the client, they're now getting the full service holistic management that they've asked for, but for the advisor, they're taking on a much higher burden in terms of compliance, regulatory scrutiny, and their ability to even supervise this activity. So we've actually seen there's a tremendous amount of firms doing this. Is very common. They're doing it at scale, but they have to subject themselves to the appropriate regulatory exams and surprise audits. And they need to make sure that they're doing this appropriately and per all the existing regulations. The reality is for the firms, it's just not a simple, efficient, or easily supervised process. But for the clients, yeah. And look, for the clients, we know that this is really a valuable service. There's various studies that point to a 3% annual advisor alpha net of fees when these are professionally managed as part of a holistic portfolio. So really critical for the end clients to get this help that they need.
So many wealth advisors recommend IRA rollovers when clients change jobs. Do you see that changing, especially with recent DOL regulations on that, taking on fiduciary status and best interests?
Certainly. I mean, I can speak from personal experience. First of all, the rollover is not always better for the participant.
Right.
I used to work at Google. I still have my 401k at Google from about 10 years ago because really it's got 30 fund options. That's more than I need. I have access to institutional funds that I couldn't get anywhere else if I rolled over to an IRA. Right. So why wouldn't I just want my advisor to manage that?
Yes.
Why would I consider taking my money out? It's the best option for me. And I think, you're seeing the average American change jobs more than ever. About 12 jobs in an American's lifetime now. So if there's better solutions for the client and you're thinking about the client's best interest, that's what you need to optimize for. Really,
right.
rollovers have historically solved for two things, right? The first one is they've given advisors access and the ability to manage these assets when they roll them over. And they allow for account consolidation. But to your exact point, the DOL and the SEC both implemented their best interest regulations to make sure that the rollover wasn't a default and that advisors actually thought about what's truly in their client's best interest when they're making these decisions. So the summary here is, if you're an advisor and you have the ability to provide full service management while a client stays in plan, this actually allows you to eliminate or reduce your exposure to a conflict of interest, because you can be a level fee advisor and serve the client where they're best served, which in most instances could be the plan.
Right. And they can also, no one's ever questioning the value of the advice and the cost of that advice. It's just maybe the underlying investments that they're recommending. So what is Pontera doing to help broker-dealers and RIAs and their wealth advisors, to deal with, the issues and current regulations?
Yeah. So first, we help advisors offer a more comprehensive service for the benefit of their clients and for the benefit of their business.
Right.
If you just think about the wealth space, clients hire an advisor because they're looking for somebody to really take the reins of their personal finances and help them become more comfortable. So they're looking for a full service solution. These outside assets have historically been underserved by advisors. Mm-hmm. And the participants in these plans that work with financial advisors are typically high earners and require a higher level of service. So they've been asking advisors for this kind of support for years. So we help advisory firms answer this demand by basically providing them a secure and compliant path to holistically manage the 401k, along with the client's, the rest of the client's assets and the entire portfolio. This allows both the advisor, the firm, and the client all to win by getting the service they want from the advisor they chose.
Right. Well, sounds like a great solution at the right time. So congratulations on that. And that's all the time we have for today. I've been talking with Dave Goldman, Chief Business Officer of Pontera. Thanks for joining us today, Dave.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching Wealth Management's RPA Fast Chat.